Okay, so we're now on to rounding to significant figures, but really this video is going to be just looking initially at what are significant figures, and we'll get on to rounding to significant figures in the next video. So you can see here, right, numbers can be rounded to a given number of significant figures. Now, what is a significant figure? So in this number here, where you've got 275,300, the 2 here is the first significant figure. It's basically your first number that isn't a 0, okay? And this number here, you've got 0.0003672. Your first significant figure here, so again we're looking at the first sig fig, the first significant figure, significant figure, is a 3. And it isn't any of these zeros because the first significant figure is the first non-zero number. That just means it is the first number that isn't a 0. Okay, so in this case, the 2 is your first significant figure because it's your first non-zero number, and the 3 is your first significant figure here because it's your first non-zero number. Okay, so I would definitely make a note of what that bit in red if you need to down below. So if I've got this number again, the 7 here is going to be your second significant figure, and similarly down here, the 6 is your second significant figure. It's your second number that is significant. So in the first number, okay, simply the 2 is your first significant figure, the 7 is your second, 5 is your third, 4th, 5th, and 6th. And this 0 and this 0, because they come after numbers that aren't zeros, you do count this as your 5th significant figure and your 6th significant figure. That's really important. And similarly down here below, okay, these are your first 4 significant figures. That 0, it is your third significant figure because it comes after numbers that are not zeros, so it does count. Good, so let's just check we understand what's going on here. It's saying which number is the third significant figure in the following numbers, and that's going to be it for this video. So on the first one, okay, well, this 5, so 1, 2, 3, the 5 is your third significant figure. So the 5 is, okay, so you could just go and write a 5, or yeah, that's fine. You could write 50 if you want to, but I'm just interested in the actual number itself, so that's your answer for the first one. Okay, the third significant figure on this one is going to be, well, that's your first, second, and third. That 3 is your third significant figure. Down here, right, your third significant figure is going to be, that's your first, that's your second. The 0 here actually is your third significant figure because, in fact, let's highlight them, because it comes after a number that is not a 0, so it does count. Okay, so this one is good, 5 and then 3. And then last one, you've got 0.0305, your third significant figure. This one you've got to be careful. You can't count these ones here because, right, you go to your first number that isn't a 0. So this is your first, that's your second, and that's going to be your third. So your third significant figure is the 5 in this case because you don't count those two because you begin at your first number that isn't a 0. So in this one, it's going to be a 5. Okay, and that is just it to a brief introduction to what significant figures actually are. And then we'll get on to rounding in the next video. Thank you.